Some stars of a popular auction show took a break at Keele and never returned to your screens.
When Storage Wars first hit TV screens in 2010, it was unlike anything we'd seen before. A gritty, addictive mix of treasure hunting and high-stakes gambling. Viewers were instantly hooked by the thrill of the unknown, what forgotten riches might be hidden behind a rusted padlock, and which bidder would walk away with the jackpot. But it wasn't just the storage units that kept people watching. It was the cast, the larger-than-life personalities who turned a dusty parking lot into primetime gold. From the sharp-tongued veterans to the fearless newcomers, each star had their own strategy, their own quirks, and their own unforgettable moments that made Storage Wars a phenomenon. And then, just like that, many of them were gone. Some left quietly, others left in a blaze of drama. Careers shifted, fortunes changed, and personal lives were thrown into the spotlight, sometimes in ways that were inspiring, and other times in ways that were heartbreaking. Now, years later, the world is wondering, what happened to the people who made Storage Wars must-watch TV? Who's thriving? Who's disappeared from the public eye? And who's faced battles far away from the cameras? Because the truth is, the story didn't end when the cameras stopped rolling. Dave Hester. If there was one name that could spark instant tension on Storage Wars, it was Dave Hester. Known for his trademark Yoop bid call and ruthless auction tactics, Hester was the show's most polarizing figure. Fans either loved his confidence or couldn't stand his cutthroat approach. But either way, you couldn't ignore him. Behind the scenes, Hester wasn't just a reality TV star, he was a seasoned auction veteran with decades of experience. He knew the business inside and out, and his ability to sniff out profit in what others dismissed as junk was unmatched. But his competitive spirit eventually led to trouble. In 2012, Hester was abruptly fired from the show, sparking a bitter legal battle with A&E. In his lawsuit, he claimed the show was staged, alleging producers planted valuable items in lockers to boost drama. The case became a media storm, with Hester fighting for both his reputation and his paycheck. After months of courtroom drama, the two sides reached a settlement, and Hester eventually returned to the show in later seasons. But the experience left its mark. While he still runs his auction business, he's kept a lower profile in recent years, focusing on building wealth away from reality TV's chaos. Brandy Passante and Jared Schultz. When Storage Wars first aired, Brandy Passante and Jared Schultz quickly became fan favorites. They weren't just business partners, they were partners in life, raising kids together while building a resale empire from the ground up. Brandy's sharp eye for value and Jared's risk-taking made them an unstoppable team on the bidding floor. Their chemistry on screen was undeniable. Brandy often played the voice of reason, reining in Jared's more impulsive decisions, while Jared's boldness occasionally scored them huge wins. Together, they turned forgotten storage units into a thriving store filled with hidden treasures. But behind the charm and banter, cracks were forming. The pressures of running a business, raising a family, and living in the constant glare of reality, TV, began to take their toll. By 2018, fans started to notice the couple appearing less affectionate on screen. And soon after, it was confirmed, Brandy and Jared had quietly separated. The split was far from amicable. In the years that followed, Brandy spoke candidly about starting over as a single mother and rediscovering her independence. She built a strong social media presence, sharing glimpses of her life and business ventures with a growing online following. Jared's post-Storage Wars path was more turbulent. While he continued working in the resale business, he faced legal troubles, including a high-profile arrest that made headlines. Though he's kept working, his public image took a hit, and he's been noticeably absent from recent seasons. Today, Brandy continues to appear on Storage Wars, proving she can more than hold her own without her former partner by her side. Jared, meanwhile, remains largely out of the spotlight, a sharp contrast to their days as the show's power couple. Their story is a reminder that while the thrill of the auction can be addictive, the real challenges often happen when the cameras stop rolling. Bari Weiss. Bari Weiss wasn't like the other bidders on Storage Wars. He didn't need the money, and he certainly wasn't in it for the grind. Bari was a collector first, a businessman second, and a showman always. With his vintage cars, quirky outfits, and dry humor, he brought a different energy to the auction yard. More treasure hunter than profit chaser. While most cast members were looking for resale value, Bari seemed more interested in finding something unique for his personal collection. He'd walk away from potentially lucrative units if they didn't have that wow factor, but when he spotted something unusual, his eyes lit up like a kid in a candy store. Fans loved him for it. Bari's laid-back style made him one of the most popular personalities on the show, and his sharp one-liners were just as valuable as any rare antique he dug up. But after 4 seasons, Bari surprised everyone by walking away from Storage Wars entirely. His reason? He simply wanted to enjoy life without the tight filming schedule. Bari launched his own spin-off, Buried Treasure, where he traveled across the country hunting for rare collectibles, but the show only lasted 1 season. After that, he largely disappeared from the public eye. In 2019, tragedy nearly struck when Bari was involved in a serious motorcycle accident in Los Angeles. The crash left him with multiple broken bones and a long recovery ahead. Fans feared the worst, but Bari pulled through, although he admitted the experience changed his outlook on life. These days, Bari has returned to Storage Wars for occasional appearances, often greeted with enthusiastic cheers from both the cast and the audience. While he no longer plays the auction game full-time, he still has the charisma and wit that made him a fan favorite from day one. For Bari, the storage business was never really about the money. It was about the thrill of the find, the stories behind each object, and the joy of collecting. And even in semi-retirement, that adventurous spirit is still very much alive. Daryl Sheets. Daryl Sheets earned the nickname The Gambler for a reason. While other bidders on Storage Wars played it safe, Daryl wasn't afraid to put down big money on a locker if he felt there was treasure hiding inside. That fearless approach sometimes led to massive payoffs, and one of the most legendary finds in the show's history. Fans will never forget the episode where Daryl opened a unit to discover a collection of art valued at hundreds of thousands of dollars, including original pieces by Frank Gutierrez. It was the kind of once-in-a-lifetime score that kept viewers glued to their screens and cemented Daryl's reputation as a high-stakes player. But gambling big can also mean losing big. For every jackpot, there were units that yielded little more than dust and disappointment. Daryl admitted that the emotional highs and lows of the business could be exhausting, but he thrived on the chase, the adrenaline of risking it all for the possibility of hitting gold. Outside of the show, Daryl's personal life has been a mix of triumphs and challenges. He's been open about health issues, including a serious heart attack in 2019 that required surgery. The incident forced him to step away from filming for a time and reevaluate his priorities. Financially, the auction world has its ups and downs, and Daryl hasn't been immune to those swings. However, his decades of experience have helped him adapt, and he continues to buy and sell when the right opportunities come along. He's also stayed connected with fans through social media, where he shares glimpses of his life, including fishing trips, family time, and, of course, the occasional storage score. In recent years, Daryl has appeared less frequently on Storage Wars, but when he does, it's clear he hasn't lost his edge. His confidence, bold bidding style, and gambler's instinct remain as strong as ever. Whether he's walking away with a fortune or a flop, Daryl Sheets is still a reminder that in the world of storage auctions, fortune favors the bold. Ivy Calvin. Ivy Calvin didn't just walk into the world of storage wars, he stormed in. With a background as a former arena football player and MMA fighter, Ivy brought a competitive edge and a larger-than-life personality to the auction yard. Nicknamed the King of Palmdale, he quickly became known for his aggressive bidding style and his knack for spotting valuable items others overlooked. Unlike some bidders who relied on gut instinct alone, Ivy ran his storage hunting operation like a well-oiled machine. He owned a successful thrift store called Grandma's Attic, where he sold the treasures he uncovered, and he had a dedicated team, including his 2 sons, helping him haul, sort, and resell merchandise. Ivy's athletic background gave him the endurance to tackle the physically demanding work of clearing out lockers, and his competitive mindset made him a fierce presence during auctions. When Ivy was on the scene, bidders knew they'd have to fight hard to walk away with a win. Off-camera, Ivy's life is rooted in family and community. He often involves his sons in the business, not just to teach them the ropes, but to give them the same drive and work ethic that made him successful. He's also active in local charity events, donating items and time to help those in need. While Ivy has had his share of smaller scores, he's also landed some incredible finds, from rare collectibles to high-end electronics. His confidence, persistence, and humor have made him one of the most reliable fan favorites in the later seasons of Storage Wars. And unlike some of his co-stars, Ivy has avoided major controversies, keeping his reputation strong. His formula is simple: work hard, bid smart, and always be ready to adapt. That mindset has kept him thriving in a business where luck can turn on a dime. Renee and Casey Nezzoda. When Renee and Casey Nezzoda joined Storage Wars, they didn't just bring money to the auction, they brought a strategy. Known for their keen eye and deep pockets, the husband and wife team quickly gained a reputation as serious contenders who could outbid almost anyone when the right locker came along. Renee, originally from Germany, grew up surrounded by antiques and collectibles, giving him a sharp instinct for spotting value. His encyclopedic knowledge of everything from sports memorabilia to vintage furniture made him a formidable presence in the auction yard. Casey, meanwhile, balanced Renee's assertive style with her own brand of charm and business savvy, managing both their public image and their massive resale operation. The couple runs Bargain Hunter's thrift store in Poway, California, a sprawling shop filled with everything from rare collectibles to everyday bargains. Their approach to storage hunting is highly calculated. They know what sells, they know their customer base, and they're willing to invest big if the payoff looks promising. Their time on Storage Wars has been marked by some huge wins, including lockers packed with high-end sports memorabilia, rare antiques, and expensive electronics. But they've also taken risks that didn't pan out, a reminder that even the most experienced buyers face uncertainty in this business. Outside the show, Renee and Casey have cultivated a strong social media presence, giving fans behind-the-scenes looks at their finds, and even offering tips on spotting valuable items. This connection to their audience has helped them build a loyal customer base, both locally and online. While some Storage Wars cast members have stepped back over the years, Renee and Casey remain active in both the show and the resale world, proving that their methodical, team-based approach continues to pay off. They've become a fixture, not just on TV, but in the storage hunting community as a whole. Laura and Dan Dotson. If Storage Wars had a heartbeat, it would be the lightning-fast chant of Dan Dotson and the warm, steady presence of his wife, Laura. As the show's auctioneers, they've been there from the very beginning, orchestrating every bid, every pause, and every dramatic sold that seals a locker's fate. Dan grew up in the world of auctions. By the time he was a teenager, he was already selling goods and fine-tuning his rapid-fire delivery. Laura joined him not just as a partner in business, but as the perfect counterbalance. Personable, approachable, and quick to engage both bidders and viewers. Together, they've built a reputation for running fair, exciting auctions that keep both buyers and audiences on their toes. Their influence extends far beyond the show. Through their company, American Auctioneers, they run hundreds of auctions every year, from storage units to estates. They've trained staff, mentored younger auctioneers, and helped shape the storage auction industry into what it is today. But their journey hasn't been without challenges. In 2014, Dan suffered a double brain aneurysm, a health scare that could have ended his career, or worse. Thanks to quick medical intervention and Laura's unwavering support, he made a full recovery and returned to the auction block. The experience gave both of them a deeper appreciation for life, their partnership, and the unique community they've helped create. Laura, in particular, has become a fan favorite for her ability to read the room, manage tense bidding wars, and keep the energy high. Whether she's teasing a bidder into going one step higher or breaking into a laugh at an unexpected find, her presence keeps the atmosphere lively and engaging. For the Dotsons, Storage Wars isn't just a TV gig. It's an extension of their life's work. Their passion for the business, coupled with their genuine love for the people they work with, has made them pillars of the show. And as long as there are lockers to open and treasures to uncover, it's hard to imagine the auction yard without them. From the big personalities to the bigger risks, Storage Wars has given us unforgettable moments and unforgettable people. Over the years, we've watched cast members rise to fame, face personal struggles, and adapt to the unpredictable nature of life, both in and out of the storage business. Some have stepped away from the spotlight, others have reinvented themselves, and a few remain at the heart of the action, still chasing that next big score. Whether they were gamblers, collectors, power couples, or auctioneers, each one left their mark on a show that turned storage auctions into a cultural phenomenon. And that's the beauty of Storage Wars. It's never just about what's in the locker. It's about the people opening them, their strategies, their rivalries, their victories, and their losses. Now it's your turn. Which Storage Wars star do you think had the most impressive journey? Who's your all-time favorite bidder? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep the conversation going. And if you love diving into the untold stories behind the show, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We've got more behind-the-scenes deep dives, more updates on your favorite reality TV personalities, and more stories you won't hear anywhere else.